Hello, welcome to day 2 of classification. Today, for the bell ringer, I'd like you to develop a mnemonic device, in other words, an acronym to help you recall the levels of organization used to classify biological things. So, again, that's your kingdom, your genus. There were 7 things. Look at those kingdoms and see if you can come up with a mnemonic device to help you remember these things. You probably learned one in about 6th or 7th grade. What are the 3 domains that we talked about in the notes yesterday? The 3 domains were the 3 things that the professor from U of I came up with, and that's really what we can classify all things in the 3 domains. The archaea, the bacteriae, and eukaryote. And then the 6 kingdoms that we discussed on the next slide from yesterday. Please put these things down in your bell work and continue to keep your bell work notebook as we go through this to help you learn the material. Okay, we need to talk about phylogenetic trees. Species are classified into groups. A diagram that reflects these evolutionary relationships has a branching pattern of the tree called a phylogenetic tree. But how did it get the branches? This is a method called cladistics was used. The key rule in cladistics is that all organism has a particular clade it must share and be derived characteristics. So when we did that clade race, we were actually making a phylogenetic tree. We looked at things that all started with the square, which was the vertebral column, and we connected them, and the things that had similar characteristics or traits got put under that branch. This is the way that we can just organize how species are related. A phylogenetic diagram specifies that the derived characteristics of the clades or the branch is called a cladogram. Okay, and so these were the branches that went through the things that all of them had in common in our cladogram. In the great clade race that we did before at the end of spring break, they all had a vertebral column. For example, a cladogram can be used to identify clades among certain vertebrates, animals with backbones, and that's what we did in our great race. So here's a very, very simple example showing you the shared derived features that all of these species have. As you can see, it's very oversimplified. Notice the backbone would be like the square that we put in. Fish, salamanders, lizards, mouse, chimpanzees, and humans all have a backbone. Okay. Fish don't have lungs, they have gills, so they actually branched off even in our clade race. You remember they had, there was a sun, I believe, that was like the fish bladder and the gills. So at the lungs, the rest of these all have lungs. The salamander doesn't have claws or nails, so it gets left off at that, but everything else, lizard, mouse, chimpanzees, and humans, does have claws or nails. Fur and mammary glands. Here's where we get to just the mammals. Okay, again, this is just a way to organize things by their common derived features or common bodily organizations. Here's another way that they can be drawn. This one's a little bit more complicated, but you can see that it arrives at the same conclusion. You'll notice these are the derived characteristics. The amoeba is only eukaryotic. That's the only thing it has in common with the sponge, earthworm, salmon, and lizard. The cat is the only one of these species that has a placenta. The kangaroo and the cat both have hair, but the cat having the only one with the placenta. Limbs, the lizard, kangaroo, and cat all have limbs. It's just another way to draw the same thing. Thank you.